How's it going today, everybody? I am Creepshow Chris. I am going to run through my entire mask collection today. Obviously these two, if you see my video from yesterday, I just recently got my favorite mask, the worst mask. Check out my previous video to see more on these two. Let's go ahead and get those out of the way. Okay, I'm going to do the small plastic little whatever masks. I've got the Emo Girl. I just liked it with its use in The Strangers. I definitely had to have it in my collection. I do need to get the other two masks from that movie still. It's definitely on the list down the line. The next one I picked up from a local flea market. Have no idea who it was made by or anything like that. It was just in a store at a local flea market. A little generic Jason mask, no specific movie. I've thought about making it specific to a movie a time or two, but just haven't done it. Don't know anything about painting masks or doing anything of that sort. I just collect them. So then we've got the Vacuform Blade from Puppet Master. I do want to get, I think they've only made one other Puppet Master Vacuform mask. I want to go ahead and get it, and I hope they do make more. And someday down the line I would love to be able to actually collect the replica puppets, but those are a little out of my current price range for a single item when there's so many in that collection. So maybe down the line, once I've completely filled this room up and have to either buy a new house to have a bigger room or extend it into my living room. This was technically not horror, but still awesome one to have in the collection. V for Vendetta or Anonymous, depending on how you look at it. I like it. It's simple. It was cheap. Spirit of Halloween, like $10 or something like that, but it's pretty cool. Like it so much I've got it tattooed. So then this little cheap junky, it was like $5 at a Party City Hannibal Lecter mask. There's nothing to say about it. It was $5 at a Party City. Come on, it can only be so cool. But had to have it. I do want to eventually get a bust of Hannibal Lecter to add to my collection. I think that would be a really sweet piece to have. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and knock this one out first out of the actually on styrofoam heads displayed on a shelf style masks. This one is in no way involved at all with a horror movie. I just thought it looked freaking cool. Frankenzombie by Spirit of Halloween. It's just something cool about it. I don't know what it was. I just absolutely loved it. So I went ahead and picked it up. Added it to my collection. It's big head friendly, at least for my big head. Which is saying something, because I've had to have like hats custom ordered and stuff to even be able to wear them. I usually only end up wearing either this flat bill that's stretch or toboggans. Alright, next one is just a little cheapie. Little ghost face from Walmart. It was like $5. It's not like a cool one like you would see on Drown Boy's channel. It's just a cheap one that I found at Walmart while I was grocery shopping one day and was like, why not? I need one for my collection that's Ghostface. He sits with my other slashers. Looks well enough to not make me want to go buy a more, or hunt down more or less a more classic one. So, at least yet. Maybe in the future. Okay. Now with those out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and get this one out of the way too. It's going to take me a second because it has a full wooden stand. This is technically not a mask. It is a bust made by ELS Studios, autographed by the actor who played the Creeper in Jeepers Creepers. I know the background of all the controversy with this movie. Thing is, it was one of the first movies I watched way back in the late 90s, early 2000s, whatever, when I was a kid. And I watched it with my dad, so it has a sentimental thing to me. It sucks that the director has his whole thing, but as far as I'm concerned, the movie is freaking cool. The first and the second one. The third one was completely trash. But I saw it autographed with proof that it's authentic and everything, so I had to pick it up when I got the chance. Now, on to the regular ones. I'll start with this one. Got this one from Trick or Treat Studios. Captain Spaulding, the deluxe one, so the beard looks a little bit better than the, you know, crappy, cheap one that's like $20, $30 less. I mean, it's Captain Spaulding. Do I have to explain anymore? Rest in peace, Sid Haig. Had to have it in my collection. Absolutely love this one. Then we'll go to this one next. Art the Clown from Terrifier. I got the bloody variant. I'm a fan of gory movies. I mean, this is just an awesome mask. I know there's better busts and stuff that people have commissioned and yada yada, but I love this one. Unfortunately, not the most big head friendly, because obviously the actor doesn't have that big of a head. Or at least not as big as mine, so... But I definitely like this one. This one was definitely one that I was really happy to get in my collection. We'll go to this one next, which I have on an actual plastic, or not plastic, but like mannequin, like salon mannequin head. Leatherface First Kill. Got this for Christmas a couple years ago. Absolutely love it. It does have the adjustable leather strings on it, so I can let it out a little bit to actually fit me, which is pretty awesome to be able to actually wear one of the masks in my collection. But I definitely like this one. I do eventually want to get more of them. I want to get the pretty lady, the old woman. I want to get the grandpa mask that Trick or Treat sells. But again, I would rather broaden the number of movies in my collection before I go in on one specific one that's with a couple other masks in my collection. I would rather get more masks from different movies as opposed to all within the same franchise. Which, speaking of that, same thing with this one. My Halloween 2 Deluxe non-bloody tier. I want to get the bloody tier, but again, like I said, rather get a different one from a different franchise for now before I start going in specifically on one franchise. This is just the Deluxe Halloween 2 by Trick or Treat. Bought it at Spirit of Halloween, but it's by Trick or Treat. Most of the rest of these masks that are by Trick or Treat I actually bought from the website. This one was bought when I first started collecting masks, which I quit collecting masks for a good while. Then I got back into collecting anything to do with horror, and this one's been around for a minute, hence why the hair is so ridiculously floofy and not taken care of. It's been through quite a few moves, been in quite a few boxes, so go ahead and get this one out of the way because my last two are pretty freaking awesome in my opinion. Stupid freaking tag. This is a Spirit of Halloween Twisty the Clown. I had thought recently about, because this one I bought before I even knew really much about the world of mask collecting, and didn't realize that this one wasn't a Trick or Treat Studios until I found out more about Trick or Treat Studios. I just assumed it was because it was a nicer mask, and most of the stuff you see from Spirit is just cheap little $5, $10 stuff. But yeah, the Trick or Treat Studios, you can actually remove this whole face section. Shows the deformed, mangled up looking jaw that he has underneath. But this one serves itself well enough. I'm alright with it. And I'm not going to dump, $60, $80 into replacing this, because I don't remember the price of that one off the top of my head from Trick or Treat. But I'm not going to dump that into replacing this one right now when I could just get a different one from a different movie that I don't already have in my collection and broaden the expansion. Universal Monsters is one that is on my list right now that I absolutely want. I want to complete that collection. I want to get the Wolfman, Emotep, Frankenstein's monster, get Bela Lugosi's Dracula. Eventually even go into the Hammer horror classics. Eventually. Universal definitely has the first in the line of those two. I'm definitely completing Universal before I go into my, not mine, but go into the Hammer horror. This one was one that I absolutely had to have in my collection. I love these movies. I know there's a mixed idea on these ones. Some people love the Hatchet movies, the Victor Crowley movies. Some people don't, but I do. I absolutely love it. This one obviously doesn't look quite as good as the pictures on the website showed, but I actually had to go through a second website because they were sold out completely on the Trick or Treat Studios website, and ended up getting this one and Art the Clown from that website together. I wanted to get the original production copies, like they sell like two that are the first two that come off the line, but saw that, decided that was what I was going to get, went back to buy it like a week later off the website, and they had already sold out of both of those. So I've done some digging, found this. I think it was Nightmare Toys, if I'm remembering correctly, was where I got it. Don't quote me on that because I could be wrong and it could have been a different website, but I'm pretty sure it was Nightmare Toys where I got them. But yeah, absolutely love it. It's plenty good enough for me to be absolutely happy as can be to have it in my collection. So, and then the last one in my current collection, a little hard to pick up for some reason. My Nightmare on Elm Street 2 Freddy's Revenge Freddy Krueger with the hat. It was a couple bucks more, nothing too major to get the hat with it. I figured I might as well. I mean, it looks plenty fine enough if I can even get the hat to come off there. Without the hat, I mean, you can definitely see the burn marks and scarring. I love the detail on it. I love this ear being all burnt and black and crispy looking. It's a nice mask all around. I was absolutely ecstatic when this mask came in, after I ordered it and got it in. I loved it. Definitely would rank up there in probably the top like 3 of my collection. Which if I was to give a top 3 right now, it would probably be Creature from the Black Lagoon because I just got it. Hatchet Victor Crowley because it was one on my list for a long time. And this one. In that order. Black Lagoon, Crowley, Freddy. But anyways, thank y'all for watching. Check back next week. I'm going to probably start doing the reactions then. I've got a work weekend coming up, so about Monday evening, Tuesday morning, somewhere in that range, I will start reacting to Crypt TV. I'm probably also going to show off my entire collection of Funko Pops that are horror themed. I also do have some NECAs I might get around to eventually showing. And definitely want to do a movie one, but that one's going to be longer for me to sit down and list off all the movies that I own that are horror or thriller or, you know, somewhere in between, sci-fi horror, whatever you want to call it. Just generally scary-ish. But we'll get there when we get there. Definitely going to do some reactions next week. So, thanks for watching. Check back in. See y'all later.